An anvil is one of the most iconic tools of our trade. While through your career as a blacksmith you may own many of them, chances are you will never use one up. The anvil you buy will set the tone of the aesthetic of your shop, as it could be a close companion for decades to come, with many beginners expressing that it is the hardest tool to decide on and buy. In this video, we want to show you our anvil, its design and features, and in that, why we made the decisions we did in building this anvil. First off, it must be said that this design is not the creation of any one person. With an undertaking like making a new anvil, we understood that we would need the help from several of our close friends in the community and their connections in industry to succeed at such an endeavor. With all of this in mind, we set to work planning by taking into account all the things we teach in our forging techniques and combining those ideal functions that an anvil needs with all that we have learned from anvils of the past, then studying that collage of form and function to finally put pen to paper and draft something new. When all was said and done, like magic, our idea one day just came to life and was sitting there waiting to be used. No one person among us could have conceived this tool alone, and no one would have been better off forgoing it alone, because what we had made exceeded everyone's expectation, from the master smiths that drafted its design to the pattern makers that breathed it into life, and the European founders that wrought its form. We were all proud of what we had done. So what was it that we built? This anvil comes in two sizes, 265 pounds and 540 pounds, and when paired with the stand they weigh almost 300 and 600 pounds respectively. The shape of the anvil and stand are designed to fit together aesthetically and work together functionally to allow you to get as close to the anvil while working as possible. The face is narrow so you don't have to bend over to get at the far side for shouldering. The clip helps to give you a large surface for straightening and flattening. There is a huge upsetting block on the far side, and the base is oversized, giving it a very low center of gravity. The tripod stand gives it stability on any surface, and there is even a cutaway that allows a spot for your knee, so that it isn't under pressure and bumping into the stand while forging. After all, it is easiest to lift your hammer if it is closer to you, and less of that lifting must be done with the small of your back. And speaking of your back, as long as you didn't try to move the 500-pounder into place by yourself, you should be in good shape, because when it comes to lifting the hammer high into the air, you'll be getting some help. The total height of this anvil, its solid single-piece nature, and the way in which it is hardened gives it outstanding recoil. While this is a characteristic that is hard to put a number on, many people have taken to our anvils with a hammer and been pleased with its bounce. And even a few unwilling participants of the tenuous ball-bearing test have bought them too. The anvils are cast from 1045 upside down in a mold with an extra deep face. They are then broken from that mold and given a differential water hardening. At this point, the extra metal on the face is ground away so that the face of the anvil is pure with no leaching marks from the hardening. As well, the hardness of the steel, roughly 54 to 56 Rockwell, is not skin deep. This anvil can be resurfaced repeatedly without cutting down through its hardness. The face comes with sharp shoulders, and while we provide instructions and recommendations on how to grind it in, you can shape the face however you like. The anvil can be attached to its base with GE Silicon No. 1. This cuts down on the ring of the anvil and gives the stand and the anvil a great long-lasting bond. There are even mounting holes in the feet so that the whole thing can be anchored to the floor, making it even more monolithic. In the end, this anvil exceeded our every expectation. We are pleased to work on it every day and are sure that you will be too. Thanks, and subscribe to keep up with what is new with Blue.